everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve, and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last episode, making an EVA foam SR6 shrink ray part 2, we finished the entire back portion of our shrink ray. We did the bracket, we did our stacks in the middle, we did our telescoping detail, we did our tail end, we did the heat shaping, simple stuff. You saw how easy that was. You can totally nail this. Everything went down perfectly. We just took our time. Everything was smooth. So now in this episode, making an EVA foam SR6 shrink ray part 3, we are going to tackle some tiny details on the tail. These cool details up around the front end sticking out on these little rods. That's going to be really cool. And my favorite part of this build, the cool handles. That's right, look at those rock. And we're going to embed something in here so that they're strong, so that you can hold it like this and it doesn't flop around. And the same thing on the back, so the back's got some stiffness to it. So we're going to strengthen our handles. We've done that before on a couple builds. We're going to do it again here. That'll wrap it up. We're also going to seal it and paint it, all in this episode. So if you're ready to hit it, let's make something. Okay, we transferred our template over to our foam for our little details that are going to go on the tail of our shrink ray, and we're going to use the X-Acto knife for all these cuts. There's our little template we transferred over 16 times, and we did all the cuts. All right, all of our pieces are going to roughly lay in here. We just have them laid down. Now we're going to begin sticking them. Super glue down to get the bottom of it wet. Just line it up just on the side of our white line like that. All right, just takes a second, and there, that's bonded. There we go, that's simple, one at a time. We drew these out using a circle guide on both ends, and then we just connected the lines. All right, there we go. All right, there's all three. Now we're going to heat seal them. Just this side first. Stay away from your finger. Spin it around to this side. Hold it down. Right there, it's bonded. Hold it till it bonds. There we go. All right, we transferred our template over for our back handle. All right, so we're going to come in with our brass rod. We're going to be embedding this right inside here. There we go. All right, perfect, because we don't want this going to the end. And we want this to stick up into the actual piece. Cut it. And we're going to use the drill bit this long to drill up inside the body. All right, there we go. That's our trench. All right, we've got our dust mask on. We've got our bit. Perfect, look at that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our X-Acto knife, and we're going to cut really close, just outside the line. When we sandwich our rod inside, like so, then we know that when we come in with our template and we draw it back out, we're going to be able to cut it out without hitting the metal bar. And we're going to draw this line, and I'll show you why. Now when we bring our piece back in and we use this edge to line up with this edge where we already cut, like so. See that? That way the metal will stick out. We're going to heat seal the foam. Wait 5 minutes. Our rod is embedded. We're going to line up right here with our cut that we made. All right, there we go. That's it. Right on, man. That is crazy. Look at that handle, and it's stiff too because it has the brass rod in it. Okay, we transferred all of our pieces over. So now we're going to just cut each of these out with the X-Acto knife. All right, there we go. All of our pieces cut out. You've seen us do this before. We sharpened up our brass tube and we poked out those two little center rivets there. We're going to round off these 4 edges and probably these 2 as well. Okay, now we're going to heat seal. Wow, that really tightens it up. All right, these are all heat sealed. All right, now we're going to come in with our 220. All right, there we go, nice and tight and shiny. Now we're going to begin assembling it. All right, we're going to use super glue for these. Spread it around real nice. Line it up right on there like that. With a drop of super glue right there. Okay, here's our little piece that's going to wrap around the bottom of our handle. Give it 5 minutes and then pow, contact. Dead center, just like that. And then we just rub it down. All right, there we go. Both sides contact cemented. All right, we waited 5 minutes, ready to stick. Since it was tough to get in there with the contact cement in some spots, we're gonna come in. We're gonna put a little bit of super glue in there in the corner. And probably a little bit in here as well, just to get it to stick in there, because we didn't have any contact cement there. Stick down in the middle. We're gonna stick down all the way along the bottom edge like that. Holy cow, that's a cool detailed little handle right there. Okay, now we've got our front handle to do, and we're gonna do it the same way that we did the back handle. Okay, there we go. We've got our metal bar bent. Now we're going to go through all the steps. We're going to Dremel out the trench. We're going to sandwich it together. We're going to redraw the template and we're going to cut it out. Same steps we did with this one. Dremeled, sanding sticked, and heat sealed. Okay, there we go. We've got our spots marked where our 2 handles are going to go. We're going to get out our drill bit. All right, we've waited 5 minutes. They're ready to stick. Now, these pieces of cement are going to stick to those pieces of cement. But what we're going to do also, cover the dowel with fresh cement. When this part goes in and it slides in and the dry cement makes contact, moisture content in the cement that's on the brass tube will evaporate and it will stick on the inside. So not only is our foam sticking foam to foam on the outside, on the inside, the dowel is going to dry, the moisture content is going to evaporate, and it's going to also stick on the inside. So, look at those handles rock. Okay, our next little detail is going to require thin foam, EVA foam dowels, and a nail, and a sharpened brass tube. And we'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to spin through. Okay, so those are the two pieces. Now what we're going to do is we're going to feed the nail through here, like so, and then we're going to poke straight through the center of this piece. We're going to slide it all the way down. We're going to get some super glue, and then we're going to slide this piece back up, right up to the back of it, and stick it there. Now we're going to do 9 more. Some super glue on the end of the nail. And we're going to slide it in as far as we can go. Actually, not as far. We want to line right up with the front of the edge right here, just like that. All right, let's get some of that squeeze out off of there. All right, there we go. How cool is that? On the top and on the bottom. Completely finished. Wow. All right, here we go. We're out at the spray booth. Don't forget, use a respirator even when you're outside. We got this big giant prop we're going to start coating. This is going to take a lot of Plastidip. We're going to have to hit it from a lot of angles. It's going to take a while. Here we go. All Plastidipped, several layers. You saw how much time it takes because you got to get in all the little cracks and crevices. You got to hit it from a ton of different angles, but eventually you get the whole thing covered. This is actually going to be a really simple paint job because it's just basically the whole thing is just going to be pieces of blue and the rest is going to be left black. All right, now we're going to get out our metallic blue paint and our sponge brush and our piece of cardboard, and we're not going to tape anything off for the blue because most of the blue areas we can get the edges and we'll paint inside the areas with a brush. So we're going to go ahead and get going. We're going to flip this around this way. All right, we're going to get our metallic blue out. Very simple paint job. There we go. Now we're just going to take our time and we're going to go around all of our areas. So all we got to do is fill in the main areas and then we'll go in and hit our details with a brush. So we just keep going. All right, there we go. Look at that. Simple. We just went around it. We got everything covered in the metallic blue. We have some spots all around edges that are going to need to be done with a brush. That's it. Just take your time, go around with the brush, get underneath areas that you couldn't get with the sponge brush. That easy. All right, there we go. All of our areas are detailed and they're around our handles. Every place we had to go in and touch up with a brush, we did. Looking pretty tight. Okay, now we're gonna come in with our black and our brush, and we're gonna start touching up some of the little areas where we got some of our blue metallic paint. Okay, now we have two little black spots right here. We just got done touching up the blue metallic. Now, we got a little black on it. Just a couple little dots. We're all touched up. Okay, now we're gonna come in with a little bit of this yellow ochre. Ochre on our brush, and we're going to get the middle hit. That easy. Okay, now we're going to put a bright yellow highlight in the middle of these details. So what we're going to do is we took a piece of painter's tape. We're going to use this for our mask. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our X-Acto knife. Okay, there's that, and then that. Out of there, just like that. We bring this in. We tap it down. We bring this piece in. Bright sun yellow. We pull our mask off. Oh boy, dig it. Pow. There you go. Center yellow ring, just like in the pictures. Last thing we're going to do is bring in our white paint, and we're going to paint this light that's on the back. Cool. We took a 2mm piece of white foam, we transferred our letters over, and we cut them out, and now we're going to use super glue, and we're going to glue these down one at a time. So we're going to have to put a piece of tape down as a guideline. All right, here we go. We've got our line that we're going to set our letters on, so we know that they're going on straight, and we mark the center line because the edge of the R is the center. We're gonna stick it down, hold it down so it bonds, just like that. Perfect. Okay, and we're gonna pull that off, and now, okay, now with that, we are finished. The glorious SR6. The Despicable Me Shrink Ray. Monster, mammoth, magnificent. Pow! There it is. Look at that, man. That's a monster. There it is, all complete. We finished it up tonight. We did our handles. You saw how we embedded brass inside there so that they're sturdy. Super easy. We've done it before. No problem. Threw on our little details on the tail, and excuse me, we did these cool little rods sticking out of the front end using nails, which was kind of cool. There you have it. That completes making an EVA foam SR6 shrink ray part 3. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.